Lovely. So welcome to this evening. It's our first Kickstarter seminar, webinar, and I wanted to do something. I'm going to do a series of these, one a month, just really helping small businesses to think through some of the current issues that they might be facing. So the obvious place to start was how to successfully navigate a downturn. So that's where we're starting from. I'm going to pull up a series of slides in a minute and just talk you through some of those. And then the workbook that I send out tomorrow has got exercises linked to each of the areas. So if you want to have a think through about how these issues affect your business and the sort of things that you might put in place, then you'll be able to do that with the workbook. So I'm just going to share my screen. There we go. And so you should be able to see my slides now. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as I say, it's a key issue for lots of businesses at the moment because we know there's going to be a downturn. We have no sense of what that will look like, how severe it's going to be, any of those things. But we do know it's out there. And if you believe the press, you'd think it was all doom and gloom. But do you know what? I've been in business 30 years and I've survived 4 recessions. And some, the 2008 recession was pretty severe. And so as long as you're doing the right things, there's no reason why small business can't navigate it and come out the other end. So it's those sort of things really that I want to talk about this evening. I've used this quote because I absolutely love it. A recession is an opportunity in wolf's clothing. And that is absolutely true because whilst operating conditions can put pressures on businesses, there is no two ways about it. There are lots of opportunities that come from a downturn in the economy. And for small business, they are much better placed than large corporations to take advantage of those opportunities because they're smaller, they're more agile, and usually they're much more adaptable and accepting of change. So it puts them in a very strong position. If there are trends in the market or patterns that are emerging, puts them in a very strong position to be able to capitalise on those and create maybe new income streams, new services to help them to take advantage of those opportunities. But while you're doing that, it is really important that you keep one eye on your own business health and that you, as far as you can, recession-proof your business. And really, that's what I want to look at tonight. I want to give you some hints and tips about how you can get your business ready to be able to withstand those tougher times and continue with business as normal. It doesn't have to be the be all and end all, even if it is, a significant recession and it lasts for 4 quarters. It doesn't have to be that harbinger of doom that lots of people are making it out to be. So I thought that tonight I'd just talk about 5 of the best ways that you can prepare your small business and make it recession proof. And these small safeguards are really straightforward. They're very easy to adapt to any business. You can scale them to any business. But if you put them together and work them together, they definitely will strengthen the position of your business. So essentially, it's these 5 that we're going to focus on tonight. The first one is simplifying your business model. So what that's about really is focusing on the core things in your business that matter and ignoring some of the periphery that can often claim your attention. So this is about making sure that what you've got is sustainable, it's manageable with you in charge, and you don't lose your focus. That's the big thing. The second thing is to reduce your expenses, and I'm going to give you some hints and tips about how you might do that. The third one is using technology to improve productivity. When people say, I've got to make savings, one of the things they do is they look through their costs and they look at what they can stop doing. And that is a great idea. All businesses should run, particularly through tougher times, they should run in a much leaner way than they would normally. but actually a really, really good way of saving and making savings in a business is to improve your productivity, so that actually you get more done with the same amount of time. So one of the things I'm going to look at is a couple of hints and tips about how you might do that. The fourth one is how you can use existing customers to create new customers. So we're going to be, again, looking at a few hints and tips about that. And the final one is getting you to think about investing in yourself to get better at income generation. So one of the key things that we find with small businesses and business owners is they come into it because they have a passion for their specialism. So Karen, you have a passion for helping people through your NLP knowledge. And Tracy, you have a passion for making sure that Word documents are absolutely right and are correct and accurate when they go out. And whilst you may be absolutely at the top of your field in those areas, that doesn't automatically mean that you are a fantastic business owner that can do everything in every other field linked with business ownership. So one of the things that I encourage is for you to think about the areas in your business that may be a little weaker, and the things that you may need a bit more support or a bit more attention on, and what you can do, and when to recognise that actually this bit is beyond you. So where are you going to get that expertise and that support from? So it's really about trying to get you not just to do everything yourself, but to make better decisions as well about who can help support your business. So the first area then is this idea about simplifying your business model. And this is about streamlining your business by making sure that you're not getting caught up in lots of other incidental things that might be watering down the main element of your business. And the reason I mention this is that during hard times, when income generation gets tougher, what automatically lots of business owners do is they think, oh, I'm obviously not selling as much of this as my main service as I want to. What else can I do to generate income? And it's where they start then to think about new services or resurrecting old services to try and appeal to a broader audience. My argument is that during a downturn, that is the wrong thing to do, because you're spreading yourself too thinly and you're taking your attention away from the things that you know you're good at, that you can compete at, and that actually are still out there. And it's better to invest that time and effort rather than launching new services or new products to up the ante in terms of your marketing on your existing service. So for me, it's about simplifying your business model by focusing on what you're good at, not scouting around looking for new things that you can do as a way of bringing income in. Because in my experience, if you do that, it takes anything upwards of 90 days before you can launch something, before you start to get any income into your bank account from doing that. So it's going to take you 3 to 4 months anyway. And in 3 to 4 months, if you were to focus on existing marketing methods for the strengths that you already have, it makes sense that that will pay a quicker dividend, because you've already got a level of visibility to work on. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the idea is then you need to be looking at your business, cutting out tasks and activities that don't contribute anything to your income generation or your efficiency. And again, this is very often we get drawn off into rabbit holes, and we can find that we're wasting huge quantities of time during the day or during the week by getting caught up on things that we think are important but are actually not contributing anything to the business. So one of the things that we get you to do is to think about which are your strength services. What do you want to be known for? So what's your signature service, and how are you going to start to promote that? Don't spread yourself too thinly. It's much better to deliver fewer services to a higher quality than be a jack of all trades. You know, both of you have got a lot of experience, a lot of expertise in the areas where you're at. It makes sense to make more of that rather than diversifying off into other areas. The key thing is, when you've simplified your business model, is to focus on what your differentiators are. So why are you different to other people that do similar services? So there are lots of people who do copywriting, editing, document management, Tracy, but what is it about you that is different to that? Is it your attention to detail? Is it your knowledge from being a legal secretary and understanding the language, understanding the layout of documents like that? So for me, it's about reminding yourself what your strengths are, what your differentiators are, and then singling out the value that you bring to the clients that you work with, and starting to promote that much more actively. The second one then is reducing your running costs. And in your workbook, this is a little, I've turned this into a bit of an exercise in the little workbook that I'm going to be sending you out tomorrow. But essentially, there are 4 areas where any business can look at their running costs, and they can make a significant difference if they do a bit of work on them to reduce the business costs. The first thing is to have a really hard look at reducing your expenses, your spending, essentially. Now, one of the things that we look at in the Micro Business Growth Club is we've got a whole series of tools and techniques. And one of the techniques that we use to help businesses stabilise their finances is something called zero-rated budgeting. And that sounds terribly complex, and it isn't. It's dead easy. A zero-rated budget is where you start from scratch with a blank sheet, and you only include the things that are absolutely critical to the running of your business. So none of the inherited historical costs, just the ones that are absolutely crucial for you to run your business. And some businesses, particularly if they've been around for a long time and they may have a few employees too, some businesses can reduce their running costs by 30% doing this exercise. It really does make a massive difference, because all of those little incidentals, the subscriptions that you're part of, you know, the insurances that you don't use anymore, you know, the subscriptions maybe that you want to get rid of completely, all those magazines, things that you may have signed up to on the internet over the last sort of couple of years. There are lots of hidden costs that sit within a business. Well, you know this because actually there's lots of hidden costs that sit in a household budget too. So you can use this technique to go through your household budget. Yeah, absolutely. It's a real wake-up call when you do this. So that's the first thing. Go through, do a zero-rated budget exercise and just see what it tells you. The second thing then is where there are things like renewals, insurances, all of those things. When was the last time you shopped around for a better or a cheaper deal? Now, some people are great at doing this. They shop around every time. But honestly, there are so many people that just think, oh yeah, that's up for renewal. When they go back and have a look, they realise they've missed the renewal date. It's already been renewed at the price that they've been quoted. And if you were at that point to go and do a comparison, to look around, I guarantee you there are businesses out there that want your business and will give you a better deal. And that applies with all sorts of things, not just insurances, but maybe stationery supplies or raw materials. Or it can all sorts of things. Credit cards is another classic example. You know, if you look at the interest rate you've got on a credit card, and you know, it may have run at 10-12%. There are people out there now who are, even in this economic conditions, are still wanting to give credit cards out at 6%. So it is about shopping around and getting those better and cheaper alternatives to save you some additional money. The third thing then that we suggest is to assess any outsourcing that you do. So if you have got website services that you pay for, if you've got any VA services that you pay for, if you outsource some of your social media management, anything like that, it's a really, really good opportunity for you to have a critical look at that too. Because the question you should be asking yourself about outsourcing is, well, two questions. Does this make me more efficient? So by outsourcing this, does it give me time back? And if it doesn't, you should be asking why you're doing it then. And the second one is it bringing income in for me? So if you're sourcing it, for example, if you're outsourcing your social media, if that isn't driving traffic towards your website and you are not getting orders from that, why are you paying somebody else to do it? So it's taking that critical look about where that money is going and thinking, actually, I'm not getting a lot out of it. Would it be the end of the world if I stopped doing that and used that money and targeted it in a different way? To get my visibility up or to get more impact from my marketing. The final bit then that we encourage people to do is to analyse. So this is any of their incidental costs. So this might be advertising. So if they do Google ads or Facebook ads, their LinkedIn activity or any networking activities that they do. So now we're back to face-to-face networking. People are starting to come out and do that face-to-face stuff now. But even some of the online stuff is still chargeable. And the question should be, it's great to speculate so that you accumulate, but any of those sort of costs should be giving you a return on your investment. And if you're only breaking even, is that enough for you? But if you're outlaying money on a monthly basis and it's not bringing you any income in, why are you still doing it? So it's really getting you to analyse your outgoings in those 4 ways. And I guarantee you, if you do that, there will be savings there for you to capitalise on. Now, my view then would be that once you've stabilised your business in this way, don't treat that as, just extra cash in your back pocket. Put it into a fighting fund and start to do something specific with it. So that if you want to relaunch maybe one of your services that you've had a great response to in the past and you know it's a profitable service for you, then use that money specifically to promote that launch, that relaunch, that service. Don't just let it sit there, because if you do, it'll just get absorbed and you won't even realise that you've saved that money. So use it for something specific. The third then is this whole idea about technology. Is it making life easier for you? There's loads and loads with technology that we have at the moment. There's loads and loads of opportunities for you to use automation in the apps and the software packages that you have to help you improve the way that you work. Probably the biggest and the most easy to get into is automated marketing, and that can help you improve your hit rate. So if you don't have a process for generating leads, so that's doing things like I'm doing this evening, or putting regular posts out on social media, or doing some of that networking so that you're out there, how do you expect people to find you? Because you're one, and all you've got to do is have a look at the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that operate on LinkedIn. You are a single voice. And so if you are not putting yourself out there every single day in some way, in some format, you are going to be drowned out by the noise in the system. And when I talk to people about this, one of the things they say is, I can't post every day because that'll just tick people off because they'll get sick of seeing me. Not everybody you know sees every one of your posts because the algorithms in the social media platforms don't allow them to. So you can be putting stuff out there on a daily basis, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day if you're using different platforms. And I guarantee you there will be people that don't see it. So it is a false concern that you can do too much social media, because the algorithms are stacked to ensure that you don't swamp people. So I encourage people to look at the way that they're automating. And if they've not used something like HubSpot, or LinkedIn has its own scheduler now where you can schedule posts in. If you haven't looked at any of that stuff, you should do. Because while you're doing that, it is marketing when you're sleeping.
That's true.
And that's, you know, that's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea. So have a look at some of those automations and see what you can be doing. You need to optimize your digital footprint then to get that better visibility. So think about things like, and I would say this to you, for heaven's sake, at this stage, don't pay for training for somebody to teach you how to do a better, how to get the most out of your LinkedIn platform, how to write a blog post, what you should be posting. Don't pay for that stuff, because it is out there free of charge. All you've got to do is just search for it. There is loads of stuff out there because people have put content out to promote what they do. So if you go to any LinkedIn coach of any sort, I guarantee you that their lead magnet will give you a lot of that advice, that first level advice, for free. You won't have to pay for it. What I'd suggest is that you do look at your profiles on LinkedIn, Facebook, any of the other platforms that you use, and make sure that it is clear. If a customer or a potential customer came to your site, they would understand that you could solve their problem for them, because that's what people look for. So for me, I could run 5 different programs. I might have sexy titles for them. So do you know what? Well, like tonight, you know, kickstart your business. You'll notice that although that is a title, one of the things that I've been marketing tonight with is how do you successfully navigate a recession if you're a small business. The reason I know that that will pick up hits is that I've used a search engine called answerthepublic.com. And Answer the Public tells you what people are searching for. So it gives you the questions they ask, it gives you the terms they use, gives you the keywords they use. And those are the things that you need to be building into your profiles, because when people search for them using those terms, if they're in your profile, you're more likely to get picked up by a search engine and put into their results. So answerthepublic.com, fantastic resource. The third thing you can do to make to make sure that technology is making your life a bit easier is have some sort of bookable appointment system. And there's lots out there that you can get for free. You might have one already built into your website, I don't know, but Calendly is probably the easiest. It's free of charge to use. You can link it to your own diary, particularly if you use Microsoft. And so people can, as long as you put the link in, they can get to you easily and they can book an appointment easily. And that is absolutely crucial, because you want to make it as easy as possible for people to find you. And if other people have got that, you don't want somebody picking up and saying, yeah, I need to book up an appointment online. Oh, this person does it and this person doesn't. So make sure that that's one of the minimum things you have in terms of automation. The fourth one then is using existing customers to make new ones. This is not rocket science. So this is just about building a loyal customer base. You're providing a great service. What you want to do is let them tell their friends about it and let them tell their colleagues and their contacts about it. So the idea is you simply ask for referrals and testimonials from your satisfied customers, and they will do them. And you have to make it as easy as possible. So if you want them to leave a Google review, put the link in for a Google review in the email when you ask them to, can you do me a review? Can you leave me a testimonial? Put the link in, they click on the link, they write a few words. It only has to be a few sentences, but that will, again, anybody with reviews, you know, search engines pick up on those, and they're more likely, again, to put you into the search results. And there's definitely, if you look at all of the research, if you get a referral or you are selling on the back of a testimonial, you are more likely to land a new sale quicker from that source than you are from somebody coming to your website cold. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really worth doing. And there's a fabulous little exercise in the book that I'm going to send you tomorrow that will enable you to do that. I ask you to pick out your top 3 favourite clients. So the ones you really love to work with, and start with them, because you've already got a great relationship. They already appreciate you. And you know what? The worst they can say is, oh, I haven't really got time. I have a customer, I have a client who, if they say, well, yeah, I'm a bit stuck at the moment, I haven't got time, she says, don't worry about it. I'll write one out for you, top and tail it, assign it and send it me back. And she writes her own review based on her knowledge of her working relationship with that person. All they have to do is look at it. They go, oh, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, OK, I'll sign that. And it's done. Very, very effective way of getting yourself some leads. Finally, then, the last bit is invest in yourself. So we all had chance to do this during lockdown, but we should continue this. So this is taking time to learn new skills, to make new connections by networking. You know, your visibility is absolutely essential. So in order to do this, you need to do a quick self-audit. What do I feel really confident at doing, and what do I think I'm really good at? Do you know, what am I not so good at? What could I do with improving? And what this then enables you to do is, when you're going into your profile to zhuzh it up a bit, you can really start to focus on the things that you know that you are really, really good at, your strong points. And because if you're not selling them, people who are coming across your stuff are not psychic, they won't know. So you've got to be out there and you've got to be saying what your strengths are. And again, there's a lovely little exercise in the book that helps you to do that. The other thing that will do is it will also throw up any weak areas you've got. So one of the things, and this is really common, particularly for women business owners, they hate selling. They just hate it. It doesn't come naturally. They feel as though they're pushing themselves. They feel exposed. That's, you know, lots of us don't like rejection. So it's an uncomfortable place to be. I get that. But there is tons of stuff out there, again, training programs that you can take that you do not have to pay for. So 2 sites that I've put into the workbook. The first one is Udemy. You might have heard of Udemy, Udemy. And the second one is called Coursera. So that's course, R-A at the end, Coursera. Both of those are online learning platforms, generic, and they do a whole range of training programs that are available from that platform. And there is a significant number that are free of charge. So again, you know, if money's tight, but you've got a need to train, to learn a new skill, to beef up on something that you're a little bit weaker on, then have a look at those 2 platforms, because I guarantee you'll find something that is really useful. It's one of the things I say to my clients who maybe have apprentices and who want to do some of the basic, you know, if they've got an apprentice, but it's only a tiny business, there might only be 3 or 4 of them, and they've got to train their apprentice. stuff like customer service, stuff like health and safety, stuff like working in loan conditions, all of those things that are programs on there that you don't have to pay for. So that's it. The workbook will come out tomorrow. There's loads of stuff in there, but I guarantee you, pick and mix, pick the ones that stand out for you, that you think would make a difference, and have a go at doing them. It's going to be surprising in terms of what you get from there. Now, obviously, the Micro Business Growth Club is generating all of this stuff. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. It's an online business community of business owners who are coming together and who are wanting to grow their business. And so all of the resources, the training, everything is through a membership package. Standard membership then is £39 a month, and you get for that weekly tips email. You get access to a whole load of videos that I've recorded, documents that I've done. I don't want people to spend time reinventing the wheel. So there's a whole rake of documents in a vault where if you want a business contract, if you want a terms of service, then there's a starting point there for you. One of the other things that I think we do, which is really unusual, is that we run a weekly sales meeting. So if you are on your own, the difficulty is you're not accountable to anybody, and nobody ever asks you about what you're doing about selling. And so you sort of get away with not doing too much about that. And so what I've decided to do is include it, and you get what the equivalent of a corporate sales meeting would be. So you get a chance to talk about your successes and the things you've struggled with. We focus on a little topic that will help you generate more sales, and then at the end we do a round robin, and people have to say what their target is for that week and what they hope to get out of that week. And then the following week when we come back, the accountability is there and we ask you how you've got on, and that's great. Want you to be clear about this, it is non-judgmental. So you don't, nothing happens if you don't
failed.
If you don't do it, or if you don't get your goal, or if you fail to make those 20 calls that you were going to make. But do you know what? Sometimes just having somebody else listen to you to say, I've had a really crap week this week and I couldn't fit that in, is really helpful. So that's why we've included it. And of course, they get the standard members get a free ebook, Improving Personal Productivity. There is also a VIP membership where you get all of that, but you also get a monthly masterclass, which is based on an aspect of leading a business. And then you also get a monthly one-to-one coaching session to ensure that all of the stuff you're learning, you're implementing and you're accountable for. And that membership is £99 a month. So I would just say to you, you can go onto my website and have a look in that in a bit more detail. Now I'm going to stop sharing. Right, that's lovely. So that's my presentation for this evening. I'm slightly over. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I am slightly over. So do you have any questions about any of that?
No, it's actually lovely.
It should be very straightforward.
Yeah.
When you get the workbook tomorrow, it really is straightforward. So it'll be, the exercises are really simple to do, but they're incredibly powerful if you do them, because they've been designed to give you an immediate result.
Yeah.
Are you okay with all of that, Karen?
Yes, very interested.
Good. Yeah, right. So what I'll do then is, if you've not got any further questions, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. As I say, you will get the email through tomorrow with a copy of the slides and the little workbook. Please feel free, if you get stuck, to come back to me and ask questions. I'm more than happy to answer those in email form.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So good luck with it, and let me know how you get on. And thanks for coming tonight. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.